Now this right here is the exact reason why I need to do more sit-ups. But I think I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. This is another spar. We're gonna go right into the statistics first. We'll go into it again later, but I just want to do a quick overview before we start commentary. First off, out the gate, started out with 59 punches thrown, 21 landed, 35.59% of landing. Pretty good. My sparring partner was trailing behind with 40 thrown, 12 landed, and a 30% landing percentage. Round 2, I come out with 40 to 20, which is a 50% landing percentage, and my sparring partner goes with 37 and 12 for a 32.43% landing percentage. Round 3 goes on, we go to 52 and 24 for mine, which ends up with a 46.15% landing percentage, and a 30 to 10 with a 33.33% landing percentage for my sparring partner. So overall, looking at the final stats here, it looks really good for me, and then also looks honestly pretty solid for my sparring partner. Now there's a huge discrepancy in volume here, but you're gonna see, like my last spar, that there is something that's missing from spreadsheet here, and that is power. Alright, first off, we started out just with a jab, you know, as always during my spars. Gotta keep that lead hand, you know, not necessarily extended, but I just like keeping it out there, you know. I don't like people coming into my range, so I'm throwing just to keep my opponent busy here. It's a cross. He's actually really sharp with those hooks, so I gotta be wary of that. Now I land that cross to the body, but I didn't really sit on that punch at all, so I don't think it had much effect. Now it is against another southpaw, which is slightly different than what I'm used to. I don't think I've actually fought or sparred that many southpaws before. Anyway, we're continuing, just throwing out that double jab, making sure he doesn't hit me that hard at least. Now I throw that cross, but the funny part is it misses pretty easily, and that's because I think it was basically still calibrated towards an orthodox fighter, you know, how their head would be on the other side, but hey, I might be rambling. I think I might actually be throwing that cross a lot more than the other spar. There's just more of that jab. And this is like a low point in this round, but something fun happens here. So that body shot basically stunned me. I don't remember really much of anything for most of this round after, and also in the second round, because I don't know, it was stunning and it hurt a lot. Like, it landed pretty cleanly, so it was definitely not fun. Anyway, I just continue throwing my jab out there. I'm trying not to show that I'm in pain, but the round ends. Now this is Diego. He's one of the members of the fight team, but hey, he was giving me some advice here, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't remember this at all. That body shot really stunned me, as I said, but we're just gonna continue into this next round. Huge shout out to them though, they were really helpful. Now we're continuing, it's a lot of the same, you know, that double jab. Now I'm actually able to block those, but then one gets through, and oh boy, it's a lot of fun. I just continue with my jabs, you know. My straights are my #1 power right now, but I'm not really throwing in combinations, as you notice. You might just see me throwing single shots, and that's another thing other than, you know, having to do more sit-ups that I need to work on more. I just need to throw in more volume and actually practice what coach, you know, tells me to practice. Now I throw one body jab there, and then I feint to the body and go to the head, but like really nothing landed there. So I might have needed to sell that more. Now my sparring partner doing really well, just closing the distance. Here's another low point in the spar. Now I get that cross as I'm cutting to the left. One of the things that was said to me is that I should be moving away from the power hand, and that's right, because in the first round, right, I was moving more towards the right. So instead of that, I should be moving away from the power hand, because this is a southpaw battle. Again, this is another thing I'm not used to, so it's just something I might need to deal with in the future. You could hear the fight team and coach in the background just, chopping it up. It's pretty fun. Now that round ended, but another thing I want to say is I don't even remember them actually, talking to me. I was just kind of stunned and doing my own thing throughout that whole spar. Here, Coach Chris is telling me to keep it tighter. Huge shout out to him. He's also been a big help throughout this journey at this gym. And we continue the spar. Now this is the final round, so I'm just trying to make sure that I get some good shots in and I'm able to practice my technique. Now there's another one of those body shots, and there's a rather nice combination actually. That's something I might like to work on more, that frame, because that frame really helped me there. I was able to land a cross and a hook, which is nice. Now, it looks like I'm throwing really weak here, and that's because I'm just not sitting on my punches as I stated. So I think, just really quick, the 3 takeaways are: I need to sit on my punches more, I need to do some more sit-ups, and I need to throw more volume. Now that body shot kinda landed, but it really wasn't that clean, so it didn't really help me. And whenever I throw that jab, one of the things that my sparring partners always catch on is that when I throw my jab, it's always in the same place. So as you can see, when I throw, they just immediately duck down and they're able to avoid it for the most part. But sometimes it still gets through because I'm just throwing it so much. Now at this point, he's trying to slug with me, but I just throw a whole bunch of jabs there, and it hopefully, gets me far enough away, which it did. Now there's another double jab there, just continuing. Now my sparring partner is, just slugging with me. I mean, something that he's doing. Now I get out of the clinch there. I don't know if that's the greatest to do, let me know in the comments, but keeping my arms up, just, letting people know that I'm not the one engaging in the clinch. I actually ducked under that. That was after the bell, but hey, that's about it. Alright y'all, well that's the main part of the actual sparring done. If you don't want to watch the statistics, you can leave right now, but if you do, we're gonna have to go into that AI, Asian intelligence. So let's do that right now. Round 1 starts for me. I throw 59 and 21. Now something interesting here is my left hand is actually thrown about 7 punches more than my last spar, which is great because that means I'm going up in volume, but also I had a better landing percentage with this left hand. Now at the same time, I threw 4 uppercuts here, and they all didn't land at all, so I mean that's kind of fun. At least I threw them. Now another thing to note here is while this is a different sparring partner, we both had high volume in this match, It's a lot more different than the last spar because obviously he is a southpaw, but the higher volume is fun. Now, more good news coming from these final stats here is that from my last spar, I actually got better with my accuracy, got 10% more landing percentage about, which it's pretty good. And also, even though it's not that much, I threw 5 more punches than the last spar. Overall, in all these rounds, I'd say it was a success, even though I definitely have to do more sit-ups because I could not think straight after that body shot. I would say, yeah, it was overall better than the last time. Now, before this video ends, I'd like to just quickly shout out the fight team at P-Town. Even though I don't remember hearing them, they were there and they were cheering throughout that whole, sparring session. And it was great to have someone in my corner, especially, when there's a whole crowd of people, it feels a lot different. Thank you to my sparring partner and my coaches here, and that is about it. I'm Kobe Gaza. Please subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.